Hello and welcome back to the Esports Rundown of February 7th, 2025. We are going to be running through a lot of stuff. 6 Invitationals going on. COD Major just wrapped up. Bunch of Rocket League stuff just wrapped up. LCK Cup starting. There's a lot. So I don't want to just kind of dilly-dally. Fighting games. Outplayed. It is a Vienna-based fighting game tournament, and I looked at it. There's no really big names. Still can probably be good fighting games. But like again, the noble entry list really isn't anything. So yeah, nothing crazy there. But for fighting games, Street Fighter League Grand Finals Japan is happening. It is between Good Egg or Good 8, not Good Egg, and Reject. Reject has Daigo, Akira, Torimeshi, and Lashar. Good 8 is Gachikun, Kawano, Pugera, and Mochi. I mean, they've been the top teams this entire season. Reject, obviously, a little bit more than Good 8. And it's just really unfortunate that Raccoon was in the same side as Reject. Because I think you might say that Crazy Raccoon might have been better than Good 8, but so going in, the favorite's going to be Reject. I mean, if you look at the squad, that's just 1 to 4 is scary. Like, Good 8 has Gachikun and Kawano. Like, they're insane, don't get me wrong. I think Pujera and Mochi is where the difference is going to be made, because like Lashar is 4, and like just again also having Akira, Torimeshi, like I think it's going to be Reject favored. It's still going to be a close match. It's still going to be a good match to watch, but I do think Reject is favored. What time is that EST? I don't think it says Grand Finals. It doesn't say. Well, watch the Street Fighter socials. They'll be there somewhere. I'm going to be finding out a way to watch this. I'm very excited for it. And yeah, no Smash. Nothing's really happened over there. Let's talk about the COD Major. Because that one was very interesting. As it's kind of spoiled immediately. FaZe was 1. And so I think FaZe has completely woken up. They weren't looking good regular season, but like I think that minor win for them really just kind of thrusted them. Like, looking at their scoreline, they didn't feel challenged until the Thieves, and even then they beat them twice. Like, so just a very dominant tournament from FaZe. LA looked much better, don't get me wrong, and I think this also makes their loss in the minor not feel as bad, but FaZe definitely looks like the team to beat. Optic didn't look good. They dropped Fuke, which a lot of people, and kind of me including, I'm not sure if that's a great choice, but they're bringing back Pred, and obviously that team with Pred has a lot of synergy, a lot of history, so expect some movement of people trying to get Fuke, because I do think he is the top player in CDL, and I just kind of think, hey, unless you're probably Thieves or FaZe, you gotta consider it. Not necessarily bite on it, but you gotta consider it. Looking at the other results, Carolina Royal Ravens kept up their kind of form. They looked good. They went down to the Heretics, who were looking really good. Definitely outside that top 3 or top 2. But again, they beat Carolina. They had a close game against Rocker. But again, those 2 0-3s against the Thieves is a little worrying if you want them to try and contest for a major. But especially after last season, you're just kind of happy. But yeah, I think big takeaways: FaZe doing well, Thieves not clutching up, Optic just being a disappointment. I think that's really what you got to take from this current major. I believe that Stage 2 is already starting this weekend. Or no, is it next weekend? It's next weekend they start. So yeah, CDL's off for a week, and then they start back up with their regular season, and got 4 weeks of that until another major. Let's go with Overwatch. Overwatch had a lot of matches go on. Just gonna go down the list of EMEA. I always forget to do this. There we go. Vert Pro took down Gen G, which I kind of was surprised about, but Peps took down Quad. Ultimates kind of took care of business. Quad again kind of bounced back the next day. It was 3-2, but it's take where you can. Gen G taking down Twisted Minds, which I think is a big one for them, especially after losing to Vert Pro early on. Vert Pro taking down the Ultimates as well, kind of solidifying themselves as the team to beat. As you see, it's 1-1 of Team Vision versus Ultimates. Gen G 3-0'd Sakura earlier today. Vert Pro, I think their next... I don't think they even have a big... The next big game would be Twisted Minds, probably. Yeah, no real big ones. I think Pep's Twisted Minds would be the... Of the remainder would be the ones I'd be most interested in EMEA. Week 3, I would say Vert Pro Twisted Minds. The Vert Pros have looked very good so far. And yeah, that's pretty much EMEA. Nothing crazy. Let's go to stage 1 for NA. Because they had their big banger where I'm just going to skip to it. TL took down SSG 3-2. So very close game. I think exactly what you want to see if you were an NA fan, because that means the top 2 teams are close and there's going to be battles, and it's not just going to be like, oh, one team kills the other the entire season. Timeless did take down TL earlier. Is that they were preparing for SSG, or like Timeless kind of punched them in the mouth? It's hard to tell. I think that's what this week we'll kind of see is like, is Liquid frauds, or are Timeless just really good? Because like Timeless lost NTMR, so like it's one of those. I think personally I'd give the benefit of the doubt to TL, especially after being SSG, but you never know. This week I think the big ones to look out for. Honestly, none of these matches look really that good. I think you'd be focusing on Timeless to see where Timeless ends up. Same with TL. It's like you want to make sure they can take down Shikigami and team. What was it, Rad? Rad Esports. There we go. Sorry. Rad Esports did 3-0, but like it was against Shinigami, so it's like how real is that? So we'll see. I think this will give us a better idea of the region. Yeah, it's kind of just waiting and see, and like no real like huge outliers to look at. I don't think China has anything yet. Correct. I'm gonna do Japan, then Pacific, then Korea. Actually, I'm gonna skip Pacific. I'm sorry. I think I just want to focus on Japan and Korea for this. And we have seen, since I last talked, lots of games. Varel looking a lot better after that Nyam game. Getting 2 back-to-back 3-0s, I think, really spells good for them. Insomnia not doing as well as I think they would have wanted to, especially after being like a returning team. Who's the Lazuli has the Canadian player, right? I think. Yeah, Lazuli has Solsei. They've been doing very well. Haven't dropped a map, so they've been absolutely slamming. And I think this upcoming week it'll be very interesting to see pretty much if they can keep it up, see if anyone can really pop out, see if Varel's keeping their form. Nyam didn't play last week, so it's like they had 2 really close, or 3 really close, or 2 really close games out of 3 in last week, so kind of want to make sure they're still in form. It wasn't just like a fluke weekend where they were playing really well. So yeah, my match of the week for this one, I think it'd be Lazuli well, please no hero ban. Last one would be 7 a.m. EST on February 11th, which is Tuesday morning. Fun. Yeah, okay, I'm actually gonna talk about Korea first before I yap for a real quick second. Korea has been very interesting. Especially this new week of results. I think I talked about this stuff already. Falcons almost losing to For the Gamer. From the Gamer, sorry. Kind of crazy. Like, this is supposed to be like goated team. And then Crazy Raccoon dog walking T1 is very interesting, and it merely makes me believe that there is like, it's still just Crazy Raccoon Falcons 1-2, and that's it. Like, I believe they're both they're both 5-0. Like, Zeta and T1 both look good, and so does Wei. And honestly, From the Gamer hasn't looked terrible. But you just got to look at those two teams at the top, and they're so good, and it's going to be very interesting. But we got a lot of really good Overwatch in the next 2 days to come. Zeta versus the Wei is going to be a very good series. I think it's also a very good test for the Wei because they've seemingly been bullying the lower teams, and this is their next shot at a top team. So it's like they got dumpstered by CR, which, hey, it seems like a lot of people are getting dumpstered by CR. So see how they perform against Zeta, see how they perform against From the Gamer. I think seeing CR play is just going to be a treat no matter what. But I think the big game we got to circle is Falcons T1. That is 4:30 a.m. EST. That's brutal. Yeah, I think that's going to be the match to really focus on. And then I think that this is the one next week. Next game set next week. I'll talk about it again, but that's going to be the giga banger in Overwatch Esports Stage 1 as in a whole. Let's go to Apex and talk about Go Next Esports. And holy hell, what a finals. I think I will just show, or if I go here, no. Let's go overview. Yeah. If I go overview, this will say, okay, never mind. I'm probably just gonna talk about the last series. Yeah, so finals was crazy fun. Obviously Go Next ended up winning. I still think was Vert Pro who's there at the end? Yeah, Vert Pro is at the end, and they weren't at match point at this time, I believe. They could have stopped them, and it would have been, we would have gotten another game, but I think it went to 9 games, almost double digits. And we had a ton of teams on match point. Like, we had 9 teams going in on match point. It was crazy fun. It was crazy interesting. I'm shocked that Alliance didn't get it because they got first to get to match point and then second twice in a row, which was just brutal for them. Fnatic looked okay. I think they were just lacking firepower, as you see, like the 220ths. As much as I wanted them to win, they felt just not in their element. So it was real unfortunate. Also felt like they were getting a little bit targeted by certain teams just because they knew they weren't really doing that well. So I was like, hey, take the easy guys out. But yeah, super fun. I'm super excited for ALGS to start back up whenever that is. I have no idea. But huge props to Go Next because, like, hey, they were at 68 points. They were not supposed to be winning, but they they got match point the game before, so they really capitalized on their opportunity. Did such a good job of just being there at the right time and being really, really patient in that last fight. So, super entertaining. Congrats to them. And we'll go to the next big event. 6 Invitationals happening right now. You're still currently in the group stage. I'll go down the groups. G2 has looked really, really good. I don't think their group has been the greatest. I do want to preface that. But I think they've been really, really good. They have one more match, or no, they were already in before they played Team Joel, but, or no, was it Joel or Unwanted? I forget. It was Unwanted. They were already in, but they still 2-0'd. It's hard to tell because they are an LCQ team, see how far they'll go, and like, again, that group doesn't seem to be the most deep, but you know, it'll be fun to see how far they can go. I think they're looking good. They might be heating up at the right time, especially when other teams aren't looking the greatest. Group B, CAG just shocked the world by 2-0ing Furia. They took a map off phase. Didn't look great against Shopify. However, top 3 teams are already confirmed to be in that group of FaZe, Furia, and Shopify. I believe top spot is still up to grabs. I think it kind of really depends on that FaZe Furia game. I don't think Shopify. Yeah, Shopify can't get it. So it's between FaZe and Furia. Whoever wins that game, I think gets the top spot. And then CAG versus Team Secret will be deciding who actually gets out of this group and who's eliminated. And then I think this is the big one. Team BDS hasn't looked amazing. They've dropped 2 games. Like to Dark Zero and Talon, like not to say they're bad teams, but like I think BDS you were really, really excited for, and like you thought they were the best team. And I'm hearing rumors about like they're not gonna beat Team BDS next year, and they're splitting up, and there's all this drama going on. It's like, is that really affecting them? Who knows? Rasa Company Academy has looked really, really good as a non-signed team, I believe, from Brazil. They've kind of outperformed expectations. Yeah, and then going down to Group D, Scars is already out, unfortunately. They just kind of laid an egg this tournament. It's unfortunate. It just wasn't their time. VertPro only dropping 1 series to W7M, I believe. But they've looked good. SSG's looked okay. W7M has won, not really dominantly, but they've won, so it's like it's hard to knock them out. And Oxygen, I think they haven't really looked the best, if I'm going to be completely honest with myself. But I think they are in a group with Scars, and Scars is looking worse, so kind of look out. We'll be going to the bracket stage, which I think go down here. Yeah, so WLIM. It's gonna be a lot. 4th place starts in lower bracket, so you really not great, but hey, you know, it's better than it's better than being eliminated. So most likely, I think, unless CAG could win and then knock down Shopify, but most likely that will stay same. These two are battling between each other. So yeah, it's been fun. That'll be continuing this weekend. There's games today and they're going on right now. Yeah, it's been very, very fun to watch. Yeah. I'm not very knowledgeable in Rainbow Six, as you can probably tell. Counter-Strike. We have IEM Katowice still going on. I believe the quarterfinals started today. But yeah, so let me talk about the groups, because I don't think I was here when I talked about groups at all. G2 losing to Vert Pro is really bad for them, especially as they're new and improved looked. Same with Falcons losing to EF, and then G2 did beat Falcons, but then lost to FaZe immediately, so who also lost to EF, so like that entire bottom quadrant is not looking the greatest. Big took a game off FaZe, but then they just got dog walked by 3D Max. So like again, there's not really anything other than these guys like just not performing, which is like, is that they're not performing, or is it because of roster, like new rosters and all that stuff? So EF does go through, and then up here, kind of surprised to be the Mongols continuing their. I don't want to say that it's a surprise, but they are just continuing their form, and especially as like an APAC team, you're not really looking out for them too much. But Team Spirit loses to Na'Vi, goes through the lower bracket, which you really are not surprised because it's Team Spirit and they are just really, really good. And so in the quarterfinals, Team Spirit beats Vert Pro. Just unfortunate that had to happen, and we get the rematch of Na'Vi versus Team Spirit, which is going to be an absolute banger. And the Mongols beat EF, so Mongols get a top 4 at IEM. And going against the Vitality team, I believe they lost. No, they didn't. They lost to Na'Vi, so get to play Vitality for the first time in this tournament. See if they can get into their another, or just maybe their first Grand Finals appearance. Have they gotten a Grand Finals recently? No, not that I know of. Not a big one. Yeah. So yeah, this will be a big test for them. I think they continue to be looking good, so I have faith in them. And I think that's just it for a little bit until we have just PGL stuff in ESL Pro League. Yeah. Let's go to Valorant. Valorant, lots has happened. They're starting the Americas. Because it's one that's not going on right now. G2 has advanced to the Bangkok Champs event. They kind of dismantled Sentinels. It was 13-7 both rounds. It wasn't really that close. MIBR actually dropped a game to crew. And are able to challenge Sentinels today, I believe, for that master spot. It'd be huge for them if they're able to get it. I'm kind of rooting for them, I'm gonna be honest. I think it'd be cool to have MIBR doing well, and Sentinels, I'm just like, oh well. I don't know. But yeah, that happened. That'll be happening later. And then the finals, but I don't know if the finals really mean too much. Let's go to let me go to EMA, because that's happening right now. Vitality punched a ticket to Bangkok. They upset Heretics. Durka had a crazy Yoru play. One that you'd only think happens in solo queue, but nope, it happens in the upper bracket finals of EMEA. So absolutely crazy work. Durka the legend. Team Liquid is currently one up on Footballist to try and challenge Heretics for that last Bangkok spot. And yeah, that's I think I was late and I talked about football, or no, I don't think I've talked about Footballist beating Fnatic. That was a big surprise. Team Liquid winning, not really. I believe Fnatic has also fired their coach already. Who I believe also was fired from Gen G last season. I could be wrong. I say again, I believe this is also tomorrow. Yeah, this will be tomorrow to see who gets that final spot. And then APAC. It hurt my soul. Carpe subbed in, which I was even rooting for T1 harder than I normally do. They drop a very, very close series to DRX. Second game, T1 was up 13 to 12. I think, and they could have won it, and it was a 2v1, and I think it was Mind Freak. Was it Mind Freak? No. Who was it? I think it was Flashback. Sorry, Flashback just fucking 2v1'd, dumpstered T1. I don't know why Sylvan wasn't playing and Carpe stepped in. But Carpe didn't look great, but didn't look like atrocious. To be honest. And then in the lower bracket, Talon took down Nongshim. This happened. I'm not sure I even talked about this. I remember waking up and I saw the score that was a 2-0, and I was like, "Oh man, DFM got 2-0'd." And then I read it again. That DFM was 2-0'd. I don't know how much, especially because that's 13-1. I don't know how much you can like really fault on DFM being good or Paper X being bad, especially after this like 13-6 to Gen G, which like, well, is Gen G just super good? Because like DFM did better than Talon. So like, are we saying DFM's top 4? Like they're in that conversation now for like the top, like possibly going to a major. I think if things shake out correctly for them, especially if Paper X is kind of falling off. But we'll see how it kind of ends up. I'm happy from their performance right now. I'm excited to see them in the league. But yeah, T1 Gen G, the LCK giga fucking banger for the opportunity to go to Bangkok. I think it'd be huge for T1 to get back to a major, especially with this new super team. But it would also just be equally as big for Gen G because T1 took a good amount of Gen G players last season. So it'll be a very, very personal, very intense match. Very excited for it. And we'll go to League. And so we're going to start with the LCK. I believe LPL is still on their break. They're probably getting back soon. So I'll probably preview some games there. Group battle has officially concluded. I think it was just these these three. Smash looked really good again in the T1 Gen G game. Bro continues to be actually like a formidable team. But in the play-in, Nongshim 2-0's Bro. Bro I think was closer than it really seems in the 2-1. But DRX kind of dog-walked Freaks. And it's kind of funny because you look at this stuff and you're like, oh, T1 and Hanwha Life, they'll probably get in and great for them. But it's unfortunate for them because in the actual playoffs, play-in 1 and 2 play against each other and they have no chance for the lower bracket. I think. At least the way this is kind of looking. Yes, if I remember correctly. So one of these teams will just be eliminated and then the other has to play Gen G. Which, like, what a fucking brutal line of games. And then like KT is loving it because KT gets to play most likely either DRX or Nongshim, and neither of them look too great. I mean, DRX I think has been looking better than Nongshim, and I think if it gets down to Nongshim DRX, I think DRX will win, unless it's like a Lehen's masterclass. But then the winner of that will get to play KT, and then KT will probably be selected by D+, who you would argue is the worst team in Gen G. So like, KT is loving it right now. This is gonna be very fun to watch in the next upcoming week. I think these games are happening. Yeah, they're tomorrow morning. So we'll see who gets in, and we'll see if an upset happens. That might actually benefit one of those teams. So we'll see. I would be interested to see a T1 Hanwha Life because T1's looked better, especially with Smash at ADC. He's been frying. Go look at LPL for a second. I think they're just finishing up their group stage in this upcoming week. Yeah, they have the games down here. Yeah, so they are starting tomorrow. Back up, and it's just going to be every day. There's going to be a best of 5, like they've been doing. FPX NIP is for the group, I believe. And not necessarily. I don't know how that stipulation would happen. It would have to be a 3-0 for NIP. Oh wait. Oh, this one doesn't matter as much. NIP should just pound. The IG FPX series is more important. Yeah, NIP should be fine. So it'll be NIP FPX, JGG Weibo. I think is WE actually playing well? No, they're not. They're garbage. Yeah, there's not really many like super interesting games, unfortunately. I think this one might be interesting just because it's might be for seeding and who gets through. But other than that, you're just, again, I think I'm kind of waiting for their playoffs. And speaking of waiting, let's talk about the LEC because their regular season's finally done. We talk about playoffs. Fnatic continue to look good. I think them getting Mickey X is huge. I think G2 losing Mickey X is really huge. I think he's just so good macro wise. I think he knows where to be. Yes, he'll int a bit, but like his game knowledge I think is, and his flexibility just puts him I think above everyone else. KC kind of fumbled in the last week. They didn't look amazing, but it's one of those things where it's like they did play Fnatic, and then they, I think, didn't really care about that Vitality game as much. But I think if you're a fan of them, that might be a little bit of a worrying trend. Same with Giant X. They did not look great in their final week. Again, but then you gotta be like, well, it's a loss to Fnatic. Loss to BDS would be a little concerning, but I think it's going to be a very even playoffs. We have Fnatic with Team Heretics, which should just be a blowout. G2 Giant X is a really, really difficult match to call. I think I would say G2 just because you don't want to bet against Caps, but and Giant X has been looking good. I think Jackie's is amazing. I think what's the ADC's name? I know his support is Jun. No, that's not the right team. Noah. I think it'd be interesting to see Noah not playing on Fnatic in one of these top moments. I think K-Corp should take care of Vitality, but I think Vitality, they have the tools to do well, so we'll see. And then I have no faith in BDS, so I think Boys should just kind of win. And I think that was the only games this week. Or do they have a lower bracket? No, they have... Oh, wait, no, there's no games this week. They're on a break. Oh, I shouldn't even talk about this. Oh, well. LTA North, we're finishing at the lower bracket. We will have FlyQuest versus Dignitas. TL versus Shopify. Surprising that these two are the ones facing against each other, but I think y'all kind of would figure FlyQuest and Liquid get through. Cloud9 did beat them. There was the streamed scrim. Got 50k viewers. Very happy to see that for NA. And it was very interesting to see 100 Thieves get through #1 seed. It is just the best of one for that #1 seed, so it's kind of how real is it, but still, as a Thieves fan, you gotta be happy, especially as like a provisional guest. But their team looks good. Like, I can easily see them making Worlds. LTA South, 0-7 to Trimby, who is already done till April with another 2-1 loss to Vivo Keed, or Too Loud. Fury took down Fluxo, and they have to play Pain Gaming because Leviathan took down Pain in that upper bracket, so this is gonna be a grueling one. Same with this lower bracket one. The Red Canids versus Loud. I think Loud should win. So like the normal thought would be Loud and Pain. But I wouldn't really count Fury out necessarily, or Reikenitz, for that matter. Isurus does take first seed, a guest slot getting it, huge for them, and Leviathan. So it's like two kind of LLA teams getting through in the CBLOL is kind of crazy. But I think the Brazil teams will be coming back furious. So yeah, it'll be very fun to watch these games. They're happening on the 9th. I think, yeah, and then just the playoff is on the 9th as well. LCP, I'll just go quickly. DFM lost CFO. Milan, I believe, has a hernia. And they signed someone. Let me just look. They signed Kakakun to fill in for Milan. So I don't know if this is a permanent thing or how long Milan will be out, but we'll see, I guess, next split. Most likely. Again, no real surprises. Like, the LVP is kind of breaking out how we thought. I think this one's just interesting to like, especially for this last spot. But other than that, it's, especially as a Japanese fan, I'm not really too happy with this league. I think Talon Gam will be a very, very good game. I think it's at 7 a.m. Yeah, 7:30. So like that is watchable for ESD people. But yeah, they're closing up and they'll be getting to their playoffs soon, which is a top 6 bracket, I believe. So yeah. Dota quickly. Tundra won the Fisher Playground. Very good tournament overall. I forget how much I talked about last time. I think I was up here and like maybe these. Yeah, so Paravision took down Baboom, so did Team Spirit to Talon. Paravision to Spirit, Team Falcons to Paravision. So it really felt like these were the two teams, Tundra versus Falcons. Lots of 2-0s. It wasn't really the best to watch, except for this finals, a 3-2 fucking gigabanger between Tundra and Team Falcons, where Tundra does take it. I believe they're an EUT based. Yes. So huge win for them. And then we have the Blast Slam, which I didn't realize was a thing until just now. Where Tundra is again already back at it, looking good. I believe this is just an EU event, right? Yeah, Copenhagen event. Tundra's looking good. Bet Boom not performing as well as they did in the major. And we are now already through the playoffs, where Paravision took down Talon, Bet Boom took down Extreme, who then lost to Falcons immediately, and Paravision took down Team Liquid, which is kind of an upset. Enigma took down Paravision, and now we're at Tundra versus Enigma, and then they're playing right now, and I believe that should just be a Falcons 2-0. Dota's happening just forever. It's just like CS. I love their circuits. They just play all the time, and there's new tournaments all the time. It's great. So I'll be finishing up this weekend, as kind of expected. Okay. I believe this is the last one. I don't think I have missed anything. Rock League has had a lot. Let's get through it. Mina. They are. This is they've started their Open 2. Nothing really surprising. Team Falcons just running through it. Twisted Minds just running through it. They'll meet at the end, and it'll be an amazing game to watch, and that's pretty much it. And Team Falcons will probably win. As much as I hate to say it. Let's go to APAC. APAC has already happened it happened last week. Luminosity took it again over Elevate, and it really doesn't look like anyone is close to this Luminosity team. Which is actually why Luminosity bought it, because they want to go to the major very easily. Keynote Trope took a game off Elevate, but that's pretty much it. Oh, all I really have to say, like, I think this is very much a two-team region between Elevate and Luminosity. I think Kinotrope, I think I would look towards later in the year for Major 2 and Worlds, potentially. But I think they only get one spot, so like they'd have to really do well at Major 2 to have a chance. So most likely this will be the Worlds representative for APAC. Let's go to South America because they have already finished. Furia has won, like normal, and just like Mina, where it's like it's Furia versus Secret and Furia 4-0s. Was it Corinthians? Which one was the Moonrise? Moonrise I think lost early, right? Yeah, Moonrise dropped early. But Furia, just they're already qualified for the major. They've been doing that good, so they just run that region and they are so good. I can't wait to watch them in the major. OCE I think is happening right now. Correct. Power got knocked down to the lower bracket by Chiefs. Especially as a team aiming for the majors, you'd be a little concerned if you were them. But Wildcard is still in the upper bracket, but has to play the Chiefs because they lost to Scrimsworld. But TSM, I think, is loving it because they avoided Wildcard, and so now one of these two teams will have to kind of take each other out. And then they also technically TSM will dodge probably dodge Power too, so they'll play one of these two teams in probably the semifinals, and I think TSM's looking good to potentially get a major. I don't know the points for them. Yeah, TSM really needs it. They need to outplace Chiefs to keep their kind of realistic hopes alive, because you don't want to be like, oh, we need to win a major. It's like, hey, we need to, like, I think a second for them would be perfect, and then also Chiefs to kind of go out a little bit earlier, and then I honestly think they kind of want Wildcard just to win out. That might help them. I hope Wildcard wins out just because Torsos is the OCE GOAT, and I will always root for Torsos because he's super nice at LAN. That's all it is. Oh, I didn't even realize Ground Zero was in this. Yeah. So that is also happening right now, and then go to EU, talk about EU's finals. Before I talk about NA. Again, similar happened like we thought. Very good games from these top four. But that it is very much a top four. NIP just unfortunately ran into Carmine Corp, who just destroyed. Dignitas did beat Team Vitality, and that's really good for their points because I think Dig went down in this lower bracket quarters last time. So very good to get those extra points and those getting second. But I do believe that this is kind of your four teams that will be going to the major from Europe. Gentlemates have not looked great. You normally would look at them, but they have not really been performing. I don't know what's going on with them, but they pretty much have one more chance. And I think they have to pretty much win the next Open to even have a shot. Most likely it's between Dig, NIP, and Ninjas for that last spot, unless Vitality pretty much lays an egg. And I see Carmine Corp is already there in the major. I forget what the major is. Is it Birmingham? It is Birmingham. I can read. And we're gonna finish off with North America. And it's been kind of crazy so far. Team Evo has been very controversially getting into top 6. I think they're better than people say they are. Like, I don't know why people are just kind of shitting on that roster. Like, Speed 1 is a homie. I played F1 with him one time. Chill dude. Arju was really, really good, and then I'm forgetting their last player. I feel bad. Relating Wave. It's like Relating Wave also is like top 8 in the EU, so it's like they're good players. I don't know why people are like so surprised they're doing well over here. I think Shopify going down, they did end up making the bracket. They'll have to play the Nether Americas to go, but yeah, I'll finish on that side. And then, but yeah, so Team Evo looked good. They almost took down Complexity, so it's like, again, I want people to start respecting this team a little bit more. And another big one on that right side of the bracket, as everything's kind of happening as you think. Ultimates take down Gen G, which okay, well, a little disappointing. And then Gen G goes down to 9 lives. 9 lives is a good team, don't get me wrong, but Gen G getting 3-0'd is, especially as like a Gen G team, you are wanting major performances every single time. And I know they want to stay in Rocket League, but if they can't pay a good team and not making majors and stuff like that, I don't know how much they want to stay in. Deleted takes down Omelet and Pioneers to make it with 9 lives, and that potentially in that lower bracket. So these teams will be seeded in the here and play against each other. And then yeah, that'll be happening this weekend. Complexity versus Ultimates is gonna be a really hype match. Same with Energy versus Evo. Like, we're at the stage of the opens that this is just gonna be very, very good Rocket League. I highly suggest everyone watching it. And that being said, it won't be this weekend, maybe not even next. But I've been given permission to start streaming OWCS. And I believe Rocket League is a just like open system. So I will be co-streaming both those. I do need to look into Street Fighter and their rules on that, but I would be trying to co-stream that. So like, I want to be doing a lot of co-streams on esports because that's just what I love to do. I love to watch esports, and I think having a chat next to me and hanging out will be super, super fun. So yeah. Again, if there's any criticisms, I'm very, very open to it. I love hearing feedback. And yeah, there's a lot of esports. It is coming down a little bit, but there's so many events, and then it's going to be ramping right back up. So, thanks everyone for watching, and have a wonderful day.